Two candidates are now looking to unseat a sitting state Supreme Court justice. Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Rebecca Dallet announced late last week that she'll be a candidate for the seat currently held by Justice Michael Gableman. Dallet joins Madison attorney Tim Burns, who announced he was running more than a month ago. The final election, the general election, is in April of 2018. Gableman has not said whether he's going to run again. But if he does, he'll have competition, unlike Justice Annette Ziegler, who was unopposed in this year's Supreme Court election. Jessie Aupoint is a reporter with the Capital Times in Madison, and she has been following the candidates' announcements. She joins us now from our Madison affiliate, WKOW-TV. Jessie, thanks very much for being with us today. And let's talk about the difference, the obvious difference in this race and the Annette Ziegler race. She had no opposition. We've already got two announced candidates in this. What's going on here?
I think we're looking at a really different environment than we're looking at for Annette Ziegler's race. You know, I think if she were running now, we may be seeing the same field that we have. You know, at the time that candidates would have been preparing to run against her, Democrats and those on the left were feeling pretty demoralized. I think it's safe to say. You know, Donald Trump had won, and not only that, but Republicans gained pretty sizable majorities in places where they didn't expect to. And you know, we just didn't see a lot of people stepping up to the plate to run on that side of things. And things are, you know, looking a little bit better for Democrats now. If not that, they're at least recovered a little bit from the shock of that loss.
Tell us a little bit about the differences between the Circuit Court judge here in Milwaukee County, Rebecca Dallet, and the Madison attorney, Tim Burns.
Yeah, you know, Rebecca Dallet sort of fits the profile a little bit more of the candidates that we've seen in the past. She's got, you know, a judicial history. She's worked on the court in Milwaukee and has experience. You know, she in her announcement touted a lot of her experience in terms of putting criminals away, which is a lot of the rhetoric that you tend to hear in state Supreme Court races, regardless of whether that is necessarily something that comes into play when you're actually on that bench. Tim Burns, on the other hand, an attorney from Madison. He works for a pretty large firm that tends to represent a lot of Democrats. His background is in insurance litigation, so he's a little bit more of a non-traditional state Supreme Court candidate, but you know, the dynamic may have changed such that we're not looking at a traditional race anymore either.
And when we talk about these races, Supreme Court elections in Wisconsin, put into perspective what they've become. It seems like they have become essentially political elections as much as judicial elections.
Yeah, very much so. And you know, the judicial races are strange in that there are more limits on what the candidates can do and can't do in terms of fundraising and cases that they can talk about, just by the virtue of generally their existing positions on another bench somewhere. But it really has become, in many regards, a proxy race. You know, Michael Gableman sort of turned the corner on establishing the court's conservative majority when he won his first race. And you know, we've seen in years since parties getting more and more involved, and we've seen third parties getting more and more involved too, sort of speaking for the candidates and raising money and asking for money where the candidates can't always do that.
And Jessie, finally, you know, we should make it clear that and everybody talks about a 5-2 conservative majority on the court, but no matter what happens in this 2018 race, that's not really going to change. Conservatives would still hold the majority.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. You know, that this is, I think, a seat that the left views as just trying to get a foot back in the door and turning the tide. And you know, to my last point, we're going to see these two candidates, Tim Burns and Rebecca Dallet, speaking at the Democratic State Convention this weekend, which is an unusual move, and I think one that signifies that maybe they're going to be embracing that party support a little bit more than some of these last candidates have.
Jessie Aupoint is a reporter for the Capital Times. She's been covering the Supreme Court as well as other happenings at the Capitol. Jessie, thanks very much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Up next, the man looking to challenge longtime Congressman and House Speaker Paul Ryan for his job.